So thank you for that question. What if we don't know yet that -1 is the first root in this polynomial? So same process. We will just do the synthetic division and try all the possible roots. Trial and error is always the key. So let's try with 1. Because again, just like what I tell you, we don't know yet that -1 is the first root. Do the process. So we have here, bring down 1. 1 times 1, that's 1. Combine, that's -3. 3 times negative 3 times 1, it's -3. Combine, that's -2. -2 times 1, that's -2. We will end up with 4. Factor or remainder theorem. Factor or remainder theorem. Since it's not 0, it's a remainder theorem. Since it's a remainder theorem, we cannot make use of 1 as our root. So this is not a root. And then, so what will we do next? Let's go to the next process. We have 1, -4, 1, 6. So we will end up with -1, -1. Do the process. We have bring down 1, multiply, -1, combine, -5, multiply, 5, combine, 6, combine, -6, 0. And there you go. This is a factor theorem. So we can then consider x is -1 as our root. So root as -1, factor as x plus 1. And then do the process. We have here x squared plus 5x plus 6 minus 5x plus 6. Factor, x, 3, 2, minus, we're done. Those are the factors. X minus 2 and x minus 3. And then the roots are 2 and 3. That's it. Got it? Thank you so much. Sir, pwede po ba yung 2? What do you mean by pwede ba yung 2? Pwede po ba magsimula sa 2? Nice question. Sure. Again, whichever you want to start with, it's okay. Siyempre, minsan, di naman natin alam na 1 nga ba talaga yung mauuna lagi. Again, it's your choice which to start solving with. Let's try it. I like that question. Sir, pwede po bang mauna tayo sa 2? Pwede. Kasi kung gusto nyo doon, wala namang problema. Let's do this. Same process. 1, -4, 1, 6. Sir, I want to start with 2. No problem. Gusto nyo pa magsimula sa 3, gusto nyo pa sa 6, wala namang problema. Do the process. So we have here, bring down 1, multiply, this becomes 2. Combine, -2, multiply, -4. Combine, that becomes -3. Multiply, that becomes -6. Wow, when you combine 6 and -6, that's 0. It's a factor theorem. Therefore, this is one of the roots. Roots, 2, factors. This will become, change the sign, x minus 2. Can you follow? Okay, so we will end up with this. So, we will put all the remaining variables. This becomes x squared minus 2x minus 3. So, let's work out this new trinomial. X squared minus 2x minus 3. Okay? Do the factors. Factoring method. Trial and error. Factors of x squared, that's x and x. Factors of 3, we have 3 and 1. What should be their signs? What should be their signs? To match the -3 for their product and to match -2 for their sum. Type the answers in the chat box, please. Type the answers in the chat box. Which one is negative? Which one should be positive? Which one should be positive? Which one should be negative? Okay, good. Very good. So therefore, this should be negative and this should be positive. Let's double check. Again, I'm telling you, always double check. Let's multiply. Ready? 1 times -3, it's -3, pasok. And then when you combine them, 1 plus -3, it's -2. That's also pasok. So, therefore, the remaining factors are x plus 1 and x minus 3. The remaining roots are, change the sign, -1 and 3. Did we end up with the same answers even if we started with the different roots? Show a reaction, please. Did we end up with the same answer even if we start with different roots? Yes, correct. Sir, hindi po pare-pareho. They are not the same. In here, the roots are, let me make them smaller. Di naman po sila pare-pareho, sir. Look. Look at them po, sir. They are not the same. If you will notice this, these are -1, 2, 3. These are 2, -1, 3. Are they the same or not? Show a reaction, please. Show a reaction, please. They are not. Oh no, they are not the same. Yes, they are not the same in arrangement. Correct. Walang problema sa arrangement. But the values are still the same. We still have, look, -1. We still have 2. And we still have 3. Remember, roots, these are just listings of roots. Nakakama sila. It's just the same as Alex, Ryan, and John o JC. And kahit pagpalit-palit pa naman ng lugar, Ryan, JC, Alex, they are just the same persons. O gusto nyo pa, pagpalit-palitin pa, JC, Alex, Ryan, they are just the same persons. Can you follow? Okay. Similarly with the factors. Look at this. These are the factors. Tingnan nyo nga. Are they the same factors? We have x plus 1, x plus 1, x minus 2, x minus 2, x minus 3, x minus 3. Yes, exactly the same. Yes, sir. Ito po, hindi na po sila nakakama. They are factors. Remember, multiplication is commutative. Ibig sabihin, they can interchange positions. Pwede magpalit-palit ng lugar yung naka-parenthesis. It's like 2 times 3 times 4. This is the answer here is 12, 24. This is just the same with 3 times 4 times 2, which is 24. And this is just the same with 2 times 4 times 3, which is also 24. Because multiplication is commutative. Got it? So worry not. Worry not if you got the first root differently from the other roots of the other classmates. Kanya-kanya kayo dyan eh. Pare-pareho lang kayo ng sagot dyan. No matter which comes first, you will end up with the same answer. Got it? Show a reaction if that's clear. Let me see. So far, how are you in that process? Okay, kaya pa? And finally, we are now down to the last one. Di pa tapos, sir. What's happening? We are now down to the graphing. Oh no, graphing. May graphing pa po. Yes, there is. Okay. I just would like to emphasize differences in the types of our polynomials. Okay? So kapag meron tayong, for example, let's just this example na lang. X cubed. Madali lang yung graphing, don't worry. X cubed minus 4x squared plus x plus 6. Are they the same? Plus 6. Okay, good. Game. I just would like you to be familiar with the different types. Nawalan po ng power, sir. Ipapost naman po sa Arling's recorded session, di ba? Yes, we will. No problem. Okay. I just would like you to differentiate these two. As you have noticed, inuna ko muna lahat yung mga tedious part ng solutions natin ng discussion. At least kasi after all those processes, when all those processes were already cleared, at least okay na tayo. Yun na yun. Whatever we do, that's the process. Now, terminologies are much easier to understand when all the difficult ones or the more challenging processes are already finished. Okay? So let's have this. Two types of or two forms of polynomials. We have this. This is equal to 0. And this is y or y is equal to. Okay, game. What type of polynomial is this if it is equal to 0? What type of polynomial is this if we have equal to 0? Type it in the chat box, please. What form of polynomial is this? Three types. Three types tayo. X cubed minus 4x squared plus x plus 6. Yan. Three types of polynomials. Go. Patingin nga. Higher degree. Actually, they just have the same degree. 3, 3, 3. Exactly the same yan. Exactly the same. Anong tawag lang sa kanila? These are exactly the same form as this. Yan, pare-pareho lang yan. Parehong polynomial lang yan. Look, they are just the same polynomials. Exactly the same. I just want you to focus on this. This one has equal to 0. This doesn't have. And this has y equals. Difference between or among the three. Similarities, of course, they are all polynomials. Other answers, please. Polynomial, polynomial equation, polynomial function. Wow, very good, May. Thank you for that. Thank you for identifying all those. You're correct. This is a polynomial, simple polynomial. It's just an expression. It's just a polynomial. That's it. Walang equal, walang equals y. Now, if there's already equal to 0, this becomes a polynomial equation. Got it? And if it is not equal to 0, instead of equal to 0, it's y is equal to, or some makes use of f of x is equal to the polynomial, or some uses p of x, the polynomial, then these are now called polynomial functions. At tuhog-tuhog ang lahat ng yan. Polynomial functions are the ones that we graph. This is the one we graph. Okay? Polynomial equation, this is the one we solve. And then polynomial, this is the one we factor. Got it? Kasi in here, all we have to do is to factor them. That's the only thing to do here. So the factor of this is we have x plus 1, x minus 2, and x minus 3. Again, a polynomial is always being factored. Now, of course, for the polynomial equation naman, this is the ones that we solve. Ito yung sinosolve natin para makuha yung roots. And of course, there are lots of ways to get the roots. One is by factoring method. Babalik tayo sa factoring ng polynomial. One is by using the factor and remainder theorem, and the other one is by using the synthetic division, which was just presented just today. Okay, so the roots are in here. The roots are, we have -1, 2, and 3. Can you follow? And in here naman, for the graphing, of course, we are also solving them. But before we solve them, always remember that y is equal to 0 kasi you cannot solve a function if it is equal to y. So we still need to change it to y is equal to 0 and then substitute, turn it to x cubed minus 4x squared plus x plus 6 is equal to 0. Kapag pinalitan na natin ng y, yung 0. Yung 0 pala, yung y. Got it? Yun. So if it is now equated to 0, since y is equal to 0, then it becomes an equation. And then, ganun naman, same process. We'll get the factoring, you'll solve for the roots, etc. But for the functions, instead of roots, we use zeros. Why zeros? Because we equated y to 0. We equated y to 0. Therefore, all the factors, we have x plus 1, x minus 2, and x minus 3 are all equated to 0. Kasi function na siya eh. They are all equated to 0. Then the zeros are, and then of course, solve. This will become -1, 2, and 3. So kapag function na, if we are talking about functions, polynomial functions, we do not call them anymore roots, but we call them zeros. If your original given is a function. However, if your original given is an equation, then they are then called roots. And just like what I told you, tuhog-tuhog ang lahat ng yan. Factoring of the polynomial is very important to get the roots. And changing it to equation, changing a polynomial function to equation is very important for us to get the zeros, which is very much the same process as getting the factor and getting the roots. Okay? Kumbaga, these are just terminologies that are used in the different forms of polynomials. Did you get it? Can you follow? Show a reaction based on how you understood those clarifications for these forms. Let me see. Let me see. Very good. Okay. Just like what I told you, kahit iba't iba man yung forms ng mga yan, even if they are different in forms or in names, they just mean the same thing. We still need to get the factors. We still need to get the roots, change the function to 0 to the y to 0. Or f of x to 0, it will become an equation. Mag-factor ka pa rin, mag-solve ka pa rin, you will still apply polynomial. Now, you will still apply factor and remainder theorem or the usual factoring techniques or the synthetic division. Kung masipag-sipag pa kayo, long division kayo, it's your choice. Okay? Do you have any question regarding those things? Okay na tayo doon? Any reaction, please? Are we okay with those parts which were presented? Okay, very good. And finally, let's now move on with the graphing. Madali lang siya, don't worry. And of course, for the graphing, requirement na makuha mo muna yung iyong mga roots or zeros. Since the graphing is for the functions, we will now be talking more about the zeros. Okay? Let me change my background to this. Okay. So this is it. Let's just use the same example, huh? Ayun, this function. So we have graph. Graph p of x. So it's a function kasi it's a p of x. P of x is equal to, what's our given? Sorry. X cubed X cubed minus 4x plus 6. Did I write it correctly? Minus 4x squared plus x minus 6. Okay. So now that we are graphing it, we all know that we need to change p of x to 0. So this will become an equation. So it will now be 0 is equal to x cubed minus 4x squared plus x plus 6. And then applying all those processes that we applied a while ago, we were able to get the factors. 0 is equal to x minus 1. Sorry, x plus 1, x minus 2, and x minus 3. Tama? Those are the factored form. Yes, that's it. And then zeros, of course, equating them, the zeros are we have negative 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Kunwari, nagawa na natin lahat ng process na yon because that's what we need to do. From the function, we need to go to equation. And from the equation, we need to get the factors. And then we need to get the roots. Or you could simplify it. You can shorten the process by automatically identifying the zeros. That's by using synthetic division or the factor or remainder theorem. It's your choice. Okay? If you're asked to identify the factors, you show them. If not anymore, pwedeng diretso na kayo sa mga zeros or roots. Okay? Now, this is the real thing. Patapos na tayo. After that, after getting the zeros, we need to make our table of values. Okay, this will be x, and this will be p of x. P of x or y. Now it's p of x kasi p of x yung ginamit natin dito. If it's y, it's y. If it's f of x, it's f of x. But even if we put y here, it's just the same. Pareho lang yon. Okay? Now, this is what we will do. All we need to do is to arrange this to this. Arrange our zeros like this. We have negative 1, 2, and 3. So, lagyan natin to dito. Let's make a table of values. So, we have 1, negative 1. Let it be here, negative 1. Put a space. And then 2, put a space. 3, and then add one more space here. Got it? There you go. And so since these are zeros, automatically p of x is equal to 0. All of these values are equal to 0. 0, 0, 0. Can you follow? Zeros po sila. Now, what will we do next? The next thing to do is to complete the table just by following our number line. Okay, so we will have here yung dito, just one step after, that's negative 2. Put negative 2 here. What number is in between negative 1 and 2? In a number line, negative 1, 0, 1, 2. Okay, so what do you want to use? 0 or 1? Or if you want to use better, if it's in between, pwede kayo na bahala. 0 or 1 or in between, that's 0.5. Your choice. O 1 na lang para cute. We may use 1 here. And then in between 2 and 3, dito in between, wala tayong choice. That's 2.5. 2.5, just put a value there. And then 3, susunod sa 3 is 4. 4. That's it. And then the next thing to do is to substitute all these values in our given function. Ready? Everybody, I hope you're still with me. We are about to finish. This is already the last part. So we will have here p of negative 2 using our original given is equal to, ready? Substitute nyo lang, negative 2 cubed minus 4x, 4 times negative 2 squared plus negative 2 plus 6. What's the answer? Press it in your calculator and type the answer in the chat box, please. Press it in your calculator and type the answer in the chat box. Press it in the calculator and put it in the chat box. So better, mas maganda kung gitna yung ginagamit natin, no? Dito na lang ito. Let's change one na lang to gitna. I will change this to 0.5. Para gitna lagi, 0.5. Besides, we are now using naman decimals. P of 0.5. Ayan. So, Chloe already showed the answer. According to her, it's -18. Did you get the same answer? Did you get the same answer? Is it -18? Is it -18? Oy, may -20. Ay, presyo sa calculator nyo. -20 po sa akin, sabi ng ibang class. Ay, -20 po. -20, -20. Oh, no. What's the correct answer? -2 cubed, that's -8. Solve natin. This is -8. Squared 4 times -4, -16. Tapos -2 plus 6. So, mawawala na to. This will be removed. This will become -10. -10, -8, -2, -20. Okay. So, we have here -20. Good. Now, solve for the remaining values of P of 0.5, P of 2.5, P of 4. Go. Type. Type. Hindi ako marunong gumamit nito. Game. Press it in your calculator as I prepare our Cartesian plane. I'll wait for your answers. Okay, so for now that we are finished with our values here, which were obtained after substituting all the values using our calculator. So this is 5.6. This is -0.9, and this is 1. Again, just use 1 decimal point for your decimals. Now let's go to graphing. For the graphing, it's just very easy. Just follow the points from left to right. So it's -2, 1, 2, -20. It's too high. Okay, -2, 1, 2, -20, somewhere over here. I'll just crack my Cartesian plane to 20. It's okay to crack your Cartesian plane, especially if it's too far from the regular counting. Okay? Sir, may graph po ba sa quiz? Yes, there is. Let's continue. 1, 0, -1, 0, and then 0.5, 5.6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.6. There. And then 2, 1, 2, 0. And then 2.5, 2.5, -0.9 here. Again, don't get confused with the signs and in your graphing. 3, 0. And then 4, 1. There you go. So those are the points from left to right of your graph. Okay. The next thing to do now is to connect the points from left to right. Just follow their movements. I'm starting from left here. Let me do it. Let me put it here. So ready? I'll just follow the movement of your points. Then in here, as you have noticed, hanggang doon na lang siya. And then susunod niya kasi nasa baba na. So therefore, that's the turning point. So we need to turn from here. Turn from here. Make sure it's a curve. Ayan, it's here. Then after this, wala na siya dito. Wala na siya somewhere down. So therefore, it's already your turning point. Go up again. And then in here, dahil wala na susunod, it will continuously move up. That's it. So this is now the graph of our function p of x is equal to x cubed minus 4x squared plus x plus 6. That's it. Kindly show a reaction based on how you understood that process. It's quite long and tedious, pero the process is just very easy. Because after getting the roots or the zeros, you just have to plot them in a table of values, there, making sure that there is a space in between and before and after each zero to show the movement or the turning points. Kasi these middle values are the turning points of your zeros. And one more trivia. Bakit zeros ang tawag sa kanila? Because when you graph them in your Cartesian plane, look, -1, 0 is in the x-axis, 2 zeros in the x-axis, and then 3 zeros in the x-axis. They are all lying on the x-axis. The reason why they are called zeros. In short, zeros yung mga y's nila. They do not go up and down. They are just there in the Cartesian plane. Sir, paano po ma-identify yung line or graph? Beautiful question. Thank you for that. With that, I will now be presenting to you the different types of graphs na even without you solving yet your graph or your zeros and your table of values, you will have an idea on the type of graph that you will be ending with. Okay? Let's take this. Ready? Siyempre, simula tayo sa quadratic. When we say quadratic, x squared. Quadratic. Everybody listen. If it's a positive quadratic, positive x squared something. Oh, by the way, less than 1 minute. Is it okay with you if I will end this now and then just join again for the continuation para dire-diretso? Okay, less than a minute. Okay, I'll stop this now and then we'll come back for the continuation. Last na lang to, very, very short. But this is very important. Okay?